A very common operation is loading data from a Microsoft SQL Server table. First of all, in the Power Pivot window, you create a connection with a SQL Server database by using the From SQL Server connection type. In the server name text box, you write the name of the server, and in the database name you can browse the list of the databases available in this server, and you select the database name that you want to use to import data from. In the Logon to the Server area, you can choose whether you want to use the Windows authentication or the SQL Server standard authentication. You have to ask to your database administrator which one you have to use. Hopefully, the Windows authentication is the one that is good for you. In the next page of this wizard, you can choose whether you want to import one or more tables from this data source, or if you want to write a query, a SQL query, to import data. How to write a SQL query is discussed in another module. So we continue the wizard selecting a list of tables and views available in this database. We choose to import two tables, the fact internet sales and the DIM product tables. At this point, if you click Finish, you import the entire content of these two tables, all the columns and all the rows. However, we can take a look at the content of a table with a Preview and Filter button. And here you see a preview of the first rows of the table and all the columns available in this table. Using this dialog box, you can choose which columns you want to include in the table that you import in the data model, and you can also choose which filter to apply on these columns. For example, you might say that you want to import only a few dates, all the dates that are greater than or equal to or just greater than 2008-0101, which means that we start from the 2nd January of 2008 in this case. This will apply a filter on the data that are imported in the Power Pivot data model. You can also choose to remove a few columns. For example, we are removing the customer PO number and the carrier tracking number. The constraints that you applied in this way will reflect in a different SQL query sent to SQL Server, and only the data that are included within your selection will be imported in Power Pivot. For example, if you click Finish, you see that in fact internet sales only 32,000 rows have been imported. If we didn't put a filter on the date, we would have imported much more rows than that. When you click the Close button in the Table Import wizard, you can see the data in a table format in your Power Pivot window. As you see, you have a tab for each table that you imported. In this case, you can see DIM product and fact internet sales. At this point, you can move to the diagram view. The diagram view shows you not only the tables but also the relationships that have been imported as part of the data model. In fact, in SQL Server there was a foreign key defined between the fact internet sales table and the DIM product table, and this foreign key has been imported as a relationship between these two tables. If you want to import more tables, the best practice is to reopen the existing connection, the connection that we just created, by using the Existing Connections dialog box. This time we select only a couple of tables, for example product category and product subcategory, and we import these two tables in our data model. As you can see, a relationship between DIM product category and DIM product subcategory has been created automatically by importing these two tables from the data source. However, the relationship between DIM product and DIM product subcategory has not been imported, even if a foreign key between DIM product and DIM product subcategory exists in the relational database. In fact, the DIM product table has a product subcategory key that could be used to create a relationship with the DIM product subcategory table. You can manually create the missing relationship by simply clicking on the product subcategory key column in the DIM product table and dragging this column to the corresponding column in the DIM product subcategory table. This creates a relationship between DIM product and DIM product subcategory tables. You can also arrange the position of the tables in the diagram view in order to better represent the existing relationships in the data model. Using the operations that you have seen until now, you are able to import the columns and the tables that you want in your data model. However, how can you change the settings of tables that you have already imported? For example, if you remember, we have defined a filter on the fact internet sales table by importing only dates that are greater than 2008-0101. If you want to change this filter or you want to remove this filter at all, you have to go in the table, the fact internet sales table, and you have to select the Table Properties button in the Design ribbon. Once you do that, in the Edit Table Properties, you can edit the filter that you defined before. So for example, you go here and you can clear the filter, or you can edit the filter, the existing filter, by modifying the date that we defined at the beginning. In this case, we completely remove the filter by selecting Clear Filter, and at this point the entire content of the table will be imported. As soon as you click Save, the table is refreshed and is read again from the database, and as you see, now we have 60,000 rows instead of 30,000 or something like that we imported before.